Hi there everyone. I want to show you two different vehicle styles today that I've been playing with for a little while. This is not it, but this is related to what I want to show you. So this is just a plastic box and it has a platform on the bottom of it to make it stay in one orientation. And it has a little bit of weight. In this case it's got a wood block that's a little bit bigger than this box here that I'm sitting in. And the box is just bumping my head inside, so I'm just walking inside this box. It looked just like it did on the river, except the box is invisible. So if you scale this up a little bit, you get something that looks like this. The Rubik's Cube that I did in a previous video. This one was for a Hero Plays Roblox video. And then of course you can just make that bigger and bigger, and it really doesn't change the way you do the interior of it. You still want to make the same size box on the inside, and of course that stuff is based on the size of your avatar. You basically just want to kind of bump the head a little bit there and have a heavy block underneath it to keep it grounded and to allow it to flip and to allow you to go into the climbing action inside the box. Which brings me to this vehicle that I wanted to show you today. So I've been messing around with spheres for a little while, and this one I took the core out of it here because that's just a whole bunch of blocks that don't need to be there. It just takes a little extra time to load. And so I made this so that I can jump in through the top here, and then you jump into this little box that's just suspended in the middle of the sphere. And then when you're in there, you can go turn collision on and then turn anchor off, and then you basically just run inside a ball. So it's kind of like being a little hamster, I guess. Um, but it's magnified. Your actions are sped up, and you can zip along, and you can even get into a mode where you can take off and kind of fly up. And the way that happens is your character gets into the climbing stance, and you can see it happen once in a while there. When in that stance, you have the ability to just sort of climb up, but at a hyper speed. There we go. So you can see I'm in that stance, and I'm able to climb. And then when you're out of that stance, you fall. And if you're not pushing forward on your motion, you can fall. And the balance of that is really kind of important, because being able to fall is, it gives you control. If you can't fall back down, you're in trouble. So this one here uses 4 independent heavy blocks, and that is gold, and it's right there. And I wanted to show you what size they are. So in this particular case, this one is 1.05 on 2 sides, and then 5 length. And I've got 4 of those in here. They're all the same size, and positioned like that, they just allow me to get into that stance right there, and that allows you to climb, and that allows you to do some decent flying. But even without that stance, you're still, if you have a heavy block just on one side, and it's kind of like the Rubik's cubes, it can still work. It just won't get quite like the roll. Like this one here can get to rolling, and it's almost like I'm just rolling along on the ground like that. And that's kind of a neat action to have. Of course, it's all made out of plastic with the exception of those gold bars in there. So it's pretty soft. You definitely want to turn isolation on if you're doing this on a public server, because if you bump into someone, or if somebody shoots you with a cannon or something like that, the ball itself is so lightweight that it'll just fling off the map, and you'll go wherever you end up after you fall out of the ball. You can use the wings. That's best for this, because with the wings on and with a pink candy in your system, you can fly it by jumping really, really fast. I'm not saying it works well. You have to jump super, super fast. You can probably hear my my shift or my space bar there. But if you get going in a forward direction and then you just start jumping or flying like that, and doing the jump thing to get you flapping your wings, then you can kind of maintain the height, and you can get some decent distance down the river this way. And it's actually a pretty decent river run sort of thing too. There's a couple stages that bother it. One of them is the one that does the little air spurts up in the air. Forget what that one's called right now, but that one just kind of blows the ball right off of your character off into space. The other ones, the bombs, every once in a while can catch you off guard in the castle stage, and they can cause some trouble. Seems like there's maybe another one or two, but generally you can pretty much just go right down there without a whole lot of worry about anything because you're sort of encased in the ball. Okay, the next vehicle I want to show you that's new is this one. So this is just a miniature ball, just kind of like that last one, but I've gone to extra steps on this one to take extra pieces out of it. Because it is so remarkably small, it really doesn't need to have like 50 extra pieces right here in this area. So I took the ball, originally made it a sphere, and based its size on, let me get out of this thing, based its size on my character. So I got in here and I sort of just measured, you know, based on my character height, and I forget how big this one is here. It's probably 6 studs or something like that, from top to bottom. But I left a little extra because I put these inside of the ball. Now these I did by like just placing one block like here and one block there, and then just scale them, you know, scale them down. I think I used 0.75 or something like that, and you just kind of drag these things in, you're essentially making yourself little pegs. And the reason you want little pegs is because, and that right there would probably work, is because they allow you to climb. They allow you to get into that climbing stance. So if you do that kind of thing right there, and then use the trowel tool, and then you can clone them and put it back inside so you get it centered, and then you can do some fancy rotating here. And there's no specific reason to have them rotated to any position really specifically. This is not some specific pattern that's some magical anything. It's just when I get in here and I turn off like collision on that one, where I can actually kind of get up inside here, you can see what this kind of looks like. I'm basically just kind of encased in those things, and I can get into the climbing stance real easy. So you can see there's I'm in kind of a falling stance, and then if I get up in there and do a climbing stance kind of thing, that's what happens inside the ball. So let me show you that. So first you want to start off without having your wings on, and this one's definitely nice to have the wings with. It definitely helps out a lot. So I'm inside there now. I just had the top little portion here is like collision off just so I can fall in. And then once you get in, you collision on for everything. So that includes the little spikes on the inside as well. And then you unanchor it and it just lets it fall. So without the wings on, I can just run around like this, and it's okay. But I do prefer to have the wings. They're a nice backup, and they do help with some control. And it's very easy to fly off the map with this sort of thing because going up is so very easy. And it sort of happens by accident sometimes, and it happens very fast. You can find yourself just flying up out of control, and you can't fall very easily sometimes. Right now it's doing pretty good, but it's a little scary, and you know, it's probably based on my spacing of these little studs on the inside. Oh, also, there is a heavier block inside here as well. So right below my feet, let's see if I can select it. There it is right there, and I gotta go like this so I can show you. Zoom back in. So that is a gold block right there, and it is a 2 by 2 by 1.5, so I think it's 1.5 thick, so 1.5 from the bottom up. And then I make it invisible because I guess it's not visible here on the bottom necessarily, but I did make it invisible for some reason, although it's not collision. I don't think it was collision off. Let me check. No, it's collision on. Oh, because I selected the entire thing and said collision on. So that block right there is actually the one that adds the weight that makes it really kind of want to be back in this orientation. You can see the blue square on the top is the one that I use to label up, essentially. And then these yellow ones just kind of help me identify whether it's spinning or not. If it's spinning, then that tells me one thing. It tells me I'm stuck in a position. So if I'm spinning wildly and my actions don't yield it stop spinning, it means I'm stuck in some climb position or fall position, and then I can just flap my wings, just jump, and you can see the little wings popping out there. And you can see this one, I can actually fly it a little easier. I think it's actually a little bit lighter weight than the other ball is. And you know, there's probably some combination of these two that would be amazing and really fun. But so far, I've been happy enough with this set that I've got. So, oh, there's the spinning out of control thing I was saying. I'm not doing anything there, so I can spin. I kind of spun myself the opposite direction to get that to stop, and now it's just doing it again automatically. So this is where the wings can help you, is because if you fly over the edge of the map, you can kind of bring yourself back into the control by using the wings. And actually extending the wings will kind of cause you to fall sometimes, because it puts you into a very specific stance just by opening your wings and attempting to fly. So it can help to arrest the craziness that's going on, even if they're not useful for flying around. The pink candies, they help you jump higher and run faster. So of course, running faster and jumping higher, it sort of lines up with what this is doing, so that you can get to where you want to be faster and safer. And you can kind of use it. It just works almost like a noob boat, that you can just zip down to the treasure so remarkably fast. And of course, this happens once in a while with those things too. You kind of go above and beyond. so you know, it's not foolproof, but it is fun. It's fun to run around the build area with it and just like hop over and check out somebody's build and stuff if you see somebody making something cool. And I've done that a number of times. You guys have probably seen me doing it if you're building something neat. Yeah, it's gonna just give me all kinds of trouble to get to the treasure this time, isn't it? I like going to the treasure. I'm not sure why. That's about all I have to show for it for today. You guys have a good rest of your day. Thank you for checking out the video. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. Bye-bye.